This combination of increase, uniform, and graduated forms creates a defined look without being too conservative. The use of texturizing shears in the interior helps add mobility and versatility. The square form is a classic yet contemporary sculpture that appeals to many clients. The majority of the sculpture is created using the planar sculpting technique with uniform nape lengths. End tapering increases mobility. The structure graphics show a square form that is a combination of graduated, increased layered, and uniformly layered lengths, which result from planar sculpting. The form is adapted to include uniform layers at the nape. The art shows 3 sections in the interior and that horizontal partings are used. The exterior is also sculpted using 3 sections, although the hair is not sectioned prior to sculpting. Vertical partings are used to sculpt the exterior. Design line lengths for the first section can be determined by various anatomical features. After sectioning, release a thin horizontal parting at the front hairline. Sculpt the length guide at the bridge of the nose using minimal tension and no projection. With the head upright, part horizontally at the front hairline. Distribute the length straight up, position your fingers horizontally, and sculpt parallel. Release the next horizontal parting. Project straight up. Use a mobile design line and sculpt horizontally. Work toward the back of the section using a mobile design line and the planar sculpting technique. Consistently project straight up and position your fingers horizontally. Continue to use the same sculpting technique as you work to the back of the crown. Maintain consistent projection while sculpting, since altering it will result in a more rounded form. The middle panel will be used as a guide to sculpt the right panel. Move to the right panel. Release a horizontal parting at the front hairline and use a portion of the previously sculpted panel as a length guide. Project the hair straight up, position your fingers and shears horizontally, and sculpt. Continue to work toward the back using a mobile design line and project the length straight up. Position your fingers and shears parallel to the floor and sculpt. Use the same techniques as you work to the back of this panel. The middle panel is also used as a length guide for the left panel. Move to the left panel. Distribute each horizontal parting straight up, position your fingers parallel to the floor, and sculpt using a mobile design line. Then, cross-check the lengths, parting in the opposite direction. Project the hair straight up to cross-check. Release a small amount of hair from the perimeter of the interior section to use as a length guide to sculpt the sides. The exterior will be sculpted in 3 sections. Arrows indicate the sculpting direction for each section. Each section corresponds to the length of your finger up to the second knuckle. Release a vertical parting at the front hairline on the left side. Position your fingers vertically with your palm facing away from the head. Sculpt parallel only to your second knuckle. Work toward the ear using a mobile design line. Continue to project the length straight out, positioning your fingers and shears perpendicular to the floor to sculpt. Continue to use the same sculpting techniques with a mobile design line as you work to the center back. Sculpt only up to your second knuckle. Move to the front of the opposite side and release a vertical parting. Project straight out, position your fingers and shears vertically, and sculpt to your second knuckle. Use a mobile design line and the same sculpting techniques as you work from the front toward the ear. Then, work to the center back using the same sculpting techniques. Use the mobile design line as well as the guide from the previously sculpted section. Return to the left front hairline, release a vertical parting, and project straight out. Use a portion of the previously sculpted section as a guide, position your fingers vertically, and sculpt. These partings may reach the hairline. If not, you may choose to extend partings to the hairline at this point. Continue to project lengths straight out as you work toward the ear using a mobile design line. Position your fingers vertically and sculpt parallel. Then work from the ear to the center back. Continue using vertical partings and a mobile design line. Use the same techniques to sculpt the opposite side, starting at the front hairline. Work from the hairline toward the ear using a mobile design line. Continue working to the center back, projecting straight out and sculpting vertically. In the nape, release a vertical center parting. Project at 90 degrees and position your fingers parallel to the head using a length guide from the previously sculpted section. Sculpt parallel to create uniform layers. Work from the center to one side and then the other. Use a mobile design line, 90-degree projection, and a parallel finger position to sculpt the entire nape section. Define the perimeter line at the sides using natural distribution and minimal projection. Position your fingers horizontally and sculpt with the notching technique. Use the same technique to define the nape. Use natural fall with a horizontal finger position. Sculpt with the notching technique. To texturize the interior, use the same partings, projection, and sculpting position used earlier. Sculpt using the texturizing shears near the ends of the hair to increase mobility in the sculpture. The finished sculpture can be worn with a classic square form or casually styled for a more modern, contemporary feel.